Okay, welcome to this worksheet. It says 3.4 at the top, but it's not. We're gonna, it's in a whole different section in Canvas, so don't worry about that. Let's focus first on our goal. Okay, remember our goal as we're solving equations, because this is our thing, solving equations. Our goal is to get one variable alone on one side of the equal sign. So hopefully you've watched the distributive property video or using parentheses, solving equations with parentheses. So the first step you have to do is use the distributive property if necessary. So if you see parentheses, you probably need to distribute something. So the key thing here is get rid of parentheses. Okay, and then combine like terms if necessary. This is, if you have things on the same side, okay, this right here, same side, you can combine them if they are together on the same side. Just put them together, and we'll talk about some of these in a second. And then if you have to, move one variable by adding its inverse. Let's remember what the word inverse means. It's opposite. So in other words, if it's positive, you do negative. If it's negative, you do positive. So we're adding its inverse, okay? And then you solve as usual. Okay, so here's our first problem, original problem. We have 12k plus 15 equals 35 plus 2k. So we have a positive 12k, a positive 15, positive 35, and a positive 2k. So there's no parentheses. So step one, we check. We don't have to do the distributive property because there are no parentheses. Let's go ahead and draw our line kind of down the middle here, and let's look at this. Do we have anything on this side that we can actually go ahead and add together? Do we have any other k's? No. And do we have any other constants like 15? And no, we do not. So let's check the right. We have a 35 and we have a 2k. And I can't add those together. So there's nothing I can combine on the same side. Okay? So our next step is step 3. Move one variable by adding its inverse. So we could have moved 12k or we could have moved 2k, but we are going to go ahead and move the 2k. It's a positive 2k, so its inverse is the negative 2k. So we're going to put these below the other k terms so that we have like terms together now on one side. Positive 2k and negative 2k add to that 0. They kind of go away. They add to 0. And then over here we have 12k minus 2k, which is 10k. We bring down the positive 15. So now our variable is on this side, so we want our numbers on this side. Okay? So we're going to move that 15 over here. It's a positive in the problem, so we are going to do a negative on both sides. So this 15 and this 15, positive 15, negative 15 add to 0. And 35 minus 15 is 20. So we're eliminate our adding or subtracting. We eliminated our addition by subtracting. So we did since we had a positive 15, we did a negative 15. Okay. And then right now we're going to eliminate our multiplication or division. So we were multiplying by 10. So we are going to actually now divide by 10. Okay. It was 10 times k, so we're dividing both sides by 10, leaving me with just 1k. 20 divided by 10 is 2. And you can always check your answer, okay? And hopefully you know to do it just like this. 12 times 2 plus 15 should equal 35 plus 2 times, let's hang on, 2 times 12, sorry. So 2 times 12. I'll use parentheses this one. I use a dot here and parentheses here. So 12 times 2 is, I'm sorry, I just realized I wrote 2 times 12 and it should be 2 times 2. My bad. 2 was our variable, not 12, so I need to put a 2 in there. Way to confuse you. Okay. All right, let's look at number 2. Here's our original problem. 3 times the quantity a plus 22. That means 3 times a and 3 times positive 22. Okay, equals 12 times a plus 30. Okay, so we have a positive 3 right here. We have a positive 3 times this quantity, and we have a positive 12a and a positive 30. So now let's distribute. We have to do this property first. So 3 times A is 3A. 3 times 22 is 66. So now we just have an A and a number and an A and a number. So there's nothing to combine. So step 2, we combine like terms. We don't need to. We don't need to combine like terms because there aren't any. Okay? So we are going to get our variables to one side. We're going to this side first. Look at what we're doing here. We're going to go ahead and move this 3A over to here. Now let me tell you the reason they're doing that. The reason they're doing that is because we have 3A's over here. We have 12A's over here. There's not any negatives. So basically it's kind of like the bags that we did, the money bags. We have 3 money bags. We have 12 money bags. So we can take 3 money bags from each side. And that way we still are left with some positive money bags over here. So if we subtract 3A from both sides, now wait, let's look at this. Why are we subtracting 3A? I don't see a plus sign here. So just keep in mind that this is an understood positive. So if it's a positive 3A, it's like adding. Okay, so this is like adding. So it's a positive 3A, so we're doing a negative 3A. That's why they add to 0. So 66 is left. 12A minus 3A is 9A. 12 minus 3 is 9. Bring down my 30. Okay? So now I need to eliminate any adding or subtracting that I'm doing. So we are adding 30. So I am going to subtract 30 from both sides. Since it's a positive 30, I'm going to do a negative 30 to both sides. Now the reason I'm choosing the 30 over the 66 is because we decided our variables were going to be here and our numbers were going to be here because they have to be on opposite sides. So my 9A needs to stay here while everything else comes over here. So 66 minus 30 is 36. And then my 9A just comes down because that's all that's left on the right. Now I'm going to eliminate my multiplication or division. Well, I have 9 times A. So since I'm multiplying by 9, I'm now going to divide both sides by 9. I have to focus on the variable. It's 9 times A. It's not 36 times A. I don't want to divide by this number. This number is not affecting my variable at this moment. This number is affecting the variable because it's next to it. Okay, so 9 times A, I divide by 9, and now I'm just left with A. 36 divided by 9 is 4. Okay, all right. I'm going to skip this next one. I want you to look through that next one, and if you don't understand anything, let's look at it. The one step I want to look at here is I want you to look at this and know to do 3 times x and 3 times 1, and then you look at the next step and see what happened. We didn't do 3 times negative 5, okay? But here's the step I want you guys to look at, okay? I want to look at this right here. I'm going to highlight it if I can. Okay, so I'm going to highlight this step right here. The combining like terms. Oh, I can't highlight it. Okay, darn. You know what? I bet I can highlight it with my... Let's see if I can highlight it with this. This step right... That's a terrible highlighter. We're not going to highlight with gray. Okay, so never mind. I want to do the combined like terms. So notice here I have a 3x. Do I have... Okay, on the left. We're going to look only on the left at this point. I have a 3x. Do I have any other x's on the left? No. So the 3x is just going to stay 3x. But right here, I have a positive 3 and a negative 5. And they don't have variables, so I can put them together. Positive 3, negative 5. You guys, this is like 3 minus 5. 3 minus 5, or 3 plus negative 5. Okay? 3 minus 5 is like negative 2. Okay, so there's where I combine. Over here on the right, I have one variable term, 5x, and one number term of negative 2. And that's it. That's all I have on this, on the left side, or excuse me, on the right side. So nothing to combine. So my combining like terms is done. So I distributed, I put my terms together that were identical, that I could put together, and now I can't put anything together with this barrier here. Nothing can I put together with this barrier. And notice, please, please notice this. Just because I did the 3 and the 5 right here together, notice there's nothing I wrote below it like we do here. Okay, I'm writing below the line here because I'm actually taking this and putting it on this side. It's positive on this side. It's negative on this side. You guys, these just add. Just do 3 minus 5. You don't have to write down below it. You don't have to do anything. They're already together, and they're ready to be added. They're ready to be added. So just add them. Okay? It's when I need to move something across this barrier or across my balance that I have to write below it with that opposite sign. So now I'm going to move my variables to one side. And so I'm going to take, this is a positive 3x again, so I'm going to do a negative 3x. And I think from here you guys can follow along, okay? So I think you guys can follow the steps. If you have any questions about what is going on here, please check with me. And it is okay to end up with 0 as a solution. We don't have that very often, but it's totally okay to end up with 0 as a solution. Okay, pause the video, look these over. Now, I want you to try these by yourself.